Hello, Crecia. It's Tiffany Bender from Munchkins and Mohawks Photography. I am really happy to see your images this week. First, I want to apologize for the late delay on getting your images over. It is smack dab in the middle of fall craziness, so I am just trying to stay above water here. But hopefully, it was worth the wait. So let's take a look. Crecia, you have grown so much in just the short time that you have been taking this class. I'm really excited to talk to you today about your pictures. So, first of all, your family is gorgeous, and I'm very impressed with grandmother and or the tripod. So let's take a look at the first image. Actually, let's back up 1 second here. Crecia, so you were asking if I would mind showing a couple shots with my 35 millimeter. Sure, I pulled up some, and you were trying to decide whether to go with the wide angle or a telephoto. Well, I used I think it's about $200, the 35 1.8. I'm not sure if there's a Canon equivalent, but it is a nice little lens, and I love you get a little bit of distortion and a whole lot of sky. So this image here was shot with my 35 at 1.8. I just love how you get this great dimension in the clouds. You can kind of get the wide angle in, and I use this for a lot of my environmental shots. Next one here is also the 35. Again, you can see it's for an environmental shot, and it gives us those great skies. So I highly recommend investing in a little 35. Like I said, I love my 1.8, and it's a really inexpensive lens. Mine seems to be super sharp too. Okay, so we've got your 85 millimeter f2.8. Yay, good job. ISO is 500. Shutter speed is 1/800. Those are great settings. That sounds like something that I would shoot. So, okay, let's take a look here. You said that you've had some experience missing focus when you're toggling the focal points. Now, I don't have experience myself, being that I'm a Nikon shooter, but I have heard from other Canon shooters that the outside focal points aren't, I guess, as sensitive as the inner ones are. So if you're able to, I hear that focus recompose is probably the way to go. You know, you might want to check with some other Canon shooters to see what their preference is, but from talking with other photographers that shoot Canon, I have heard that. So, focus looks great on this image in particular. You got 1.8, everybody looks nice and sharp. So great job there. And I want to talk to you about all the things that I love about this image. The number one thing for me was all the beautiful tones. It's so harmonious, and I love their styling. And everybody just looks so happy. I love that you've complemented the tones with you've got the yellows and the grasses and the browns. It's just so beautiful. You kind of got a little bit of goldenrod peeking in. Looks really great. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, their posing's great too. You've got this nice triangle going on right here. See? I'm gonna get the triangle, keeps their eyes circling around. So I think you're probably catching on pretty quick here. You know what I'm gonna tell you about. I think the first thing that caught my attention was you cut off feet here. And simple fix, just, you gotta watch your angles a little bit more. I've got some trees back here that I might clone out just a little bit. Just so that you've got a nice clean background. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. Yeah, so we can clone out some of these trees here in the background. I would have also loved to see you take either a couple steps backwards or crop in, because right at this particular crop, I feel like I want to either come in a little bit more or see a little bit more environment. So I would recommend, let's see here, I've got it pulled up in Photoshop. Actually, jumping ahead to this next image, this is great as far as composition wise. So you've got more to the landscape, so it's telling a little bit more of the story. So this one feels a little bit tight if we're going to be going for an environmental shot. Let's see here. I might crop it in somewhere around here if we're going to be doing a tight crop. Okay? Or back out more something like this. Okay, so let's take a look, and I love that you sent over your raw files, so we're going to look at them in Lightroom. Okay, and I was really pleased because I really didn't even look at your images first. I tried to just look at the raw images, and I edited your picture how I would have done it if it were my own. And I was really excited to see that they were very close. Let's see here. So I feel like you are making big, big progress. Really, really proud. So you can see there's your edit. And that was mine. So, well, let me back up off your crop here. So you can see they're really similar. Whoops, daisy, sorry about that. Tones are really similar. I think you might have a little bit more warmth. This is just the Lightroom edit, but great job. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what I did. You'll have to forgive me. I've actually recorded your critique a few times, and I kept getting interrupted towards the end. So I've gone through this quite a few times, but I'm just now getting a chance to come back to it. Okay, so I think, okay, let's go back to the raw file. There we go. Okay, so you've got you guys centered, and I like how you put your, you use the golden spiral to kind of crop you guys in. Like I said, we probably might go somewhere right about here. There you go. Okay, I think I used one of my presets, Backlit Beauty or one of the sorts, that kind of darkens up the tones in the background, which is pulling the exposure down quite a bit. Let's go here. So we can bring our people back up. So we're going to pull our exposure up, add some warmth. Color you up. Not quite that much warmth. I think I might be losing my voice too, so I apologize if I sound a little raspy. I'm actually quite surprised that my voice is doing this tonight. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, and let's see our vignette. So let's go through the settings here. So what I did, Crecia, was I upped the contrast, I reduced the exposure, I've pulled up the darks, down the shadows, pretty standard for me. I've added some tones into the split toning, so into the highlights we've added some like orangey color. Can you kind of see how that has that orangey green? Let's actually make that a little more reddy orange, okay. I'm going to keep that up there. And then in the shadows, we've added a little bit of red. Let's add a little bit more. There we go. Looks great. And then let's do a post-crop vignette as opposed to regular lens vignette since we've cropped that image. There we go. Great. So we can see our before and after. And you can see that took me just a minute there. And so let's pull that into Photoshop. Okay, Miss Crecia, let's pull up your folder. And I'm exporting this as a JPEG into Photoshop. There you are. Okay. So all I would do really to this image here is I would duplicate the layer. Let's get rid of these trees in the back. I'm just using the patch tool to kind of make these a little bit less noticeable. Oh, sorry, battery's low. See, I've been working overtime here. My batteries, changed the batteries already in the last couple weeks, last week, I think, maybe. Alright, so we've kind of lost those trees coming out of the back of their head, which is great. Let's do a little bit of skin softening and eye sharpening. You guys have probably seen me use this persnickety action, which is just the eye sharpening and the skin softening. Okay. So we're masking on the eye sharpening at 100% opacity, 100% flow. Make those eyes nice and bright and those teeth white and shiny, okay. And I'm masking that on their clothes. I like to see all the detail of their clothes. Okay, and with Portraiture, which is a plugin by Imaginomic, just gonna kind of. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. I might pull that back a little bit. There you go. Looks really good. Oh, and I see that you did clone this out in the back corner. You might, yeah, you could spend some time cloning that out. But, you know, I think you did a phenomenal job. So like I said, the trees back here, I think mine's a little bit darker and cropped in. Yeah, I actually like your edit better, girly. Great work. So let's just get these trees out of their heads and either going to do a crop in or we're going to step back. Great image, and I'd love to see what direction you're headed. Okay, let's take a look at your next shot. This is again with your 85mm at 2.5. ISO 500. Yeah, you said you could have moved it down to 200, probably so. It looks like there might have been enough sun to do that. And your shutter speed is at 1/1250. You could have changed your shutter speed as well. Lowered that to decrease your ISO. All right, your first question is you've got some chromatic aberration on her arm. So let's take a look at that in Lightroom. There's a quick and easy fix for that. Okay, let's kind of zoom in here, a 1:1. Yeah, so you've got a if you're not familiar with what that is, it is this little, it's where a dark and a light meet. The 85mm is kind of infamous for giving you CA. So it's, to be honest with you, I don't know why it happens, but I've always noticed where a drastic change in colors are. So where a dark and light meet, you can sometimes get a magenta or purple line. So over here in, let's see, I haven't done this in a while. There is a chromatic aberration. Let's see here. There's a slider for that. What about that one? If I can find it. Maybe Lightroom 4 did it right way with it. I'm not really sure. Okay, so what you could do is, let's go to the saturation in purple magenta. Let's kind of mess with those two. There you go. That worked. I pulled the purple down. Now, you might have to be careful if you've got other tones that are purple in the image, because that would also decrease their saturation. But in this particular shot, it didn't affect anything else. So that's gone, which is great. So I love your edit. Let's take a look at that. I love the softness of this field. Let's see here. Let's pull it up next to this. I love how you've made them the total focal point of the image. I feel like this line of trees, or these weeds that are on the same focal plane as dad and daughter, are just drawing your attention right to them and your eyes resting right on them. There are a couple things that I would adjust, but just a few. There's the tree coming out of the back of his head. You did a great job cloning back here. Let's look back at that original image. So you did a really great job, but we missed that tree here. So let's just take it one step further, kind of get that tree out of his noggin there. But the tones look really great. I love how this is nice and soft. I love their interaction. Oh, that's one thing I did want to touch on. Let me back up here. On your first image here, I love the posing, but I would have liked to seen you connected a little bit more with each other. So it's great that you're looking at us. Everybody's got a really pleasant smile, but I would like to have felt you a little more connected. So maybe mom and dad heads into each other, kind of like rest your head on his shoulder, and kind of maybe dad maybe giving a little tickle to the daughter, so she's kind of snuggling into him. So it was just a little bit more interaction. Okay, sorry, back to picture two. But you did a great job here getting that connection. So a little bit more when you're getting your more formal portraits. Yes, I want everybody standing and kind of looking and smiling, but it's great to have them. It's just sometimes something subtle, like just the way they're touching their arm, or their head is resting on mom or dad. Excuse the crying baby in the background too. The critiques have been left to do late in the evening, so I apologize for any kind of noise. Okay, so great job on this image here. Let's look at your settings. You've got the 2.5, 1250, 500, great. Like you said, you wish you could have moved the ISO down, but I don't feel like it affected image quality at all. Okay, and on to image number 3. We again are using our 85 at 2.5. I'm sure you use it 2.5. Yeah, okay. And ISO 640, shutter speed 1/1250. Okay, I love you say, does this work? Because it does. I'm doing it more. It does. There's just a slight change I'd like you to make as far as composition, and I think you're golden. Okay, so let's take a look at this third and final image. Okay, this is the web size file, but so I love how you've got them framed by the tree, and then you've got the leading line from is this pier? I'm not really sure. Or the wooden structure, deck. But whatever the case, the walkway, it's really drawing me in. I would have loved to seen them more. They're really centered right now. So if you take a look, they're smack dab right in the middle of the page. So if you could have taken one step to the right, okay, let's see here, and had the angle of the pier walkway going this way, and had them kind of a little bit more down here, that would have been a little more pleasing. So we would have kept them on the third of the page. Their heads up here, right in that spot. You've got I'm such a great artist, I'm sorry. So right here, you want their heads to be, and then we have the tree framing them, the leading line of the wooden structure, deck, something or other, going back this way. But you really did, sorry, I did a great job too, art-wise. Oh my goodness. Okay, you really did a great job. I like how you're opening your eyes up to your surroundings and using the environment to draw you into your subjects. Again, I would have liked to see a little bit more interaction between the couple. So maybe girlfriend or wife snuggling up to him, kind of having their heads leaning together. Or she could have her back to him and kind of leaning back on him with his arms around her, and just a little bit more connection with each other. But great job. And I am so sad to see this come to an end. Let's take a look here at your final. Oh, I think I cropped it so they were here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. So I cropped it to a little bit more so they were on the rule of thirds here. All right, Crecia. Well, I am super sad because I really feel like I have gotten to know you guys all so well through your images. And I'm connected with a few of you on Facebook. Crecia, I know you're one of them. And I'm going to be really looking forward to watching more images come from you. And hopefully we can all connect again in the future. And please keep in touch on Facebook. And it's been a pleasure getting to know you.